Hi, my name is Nikki, and today I'm going to be leading you through the Weight to Wellbeing Strength and Endurance exercises portion of the class. If you'd like to follow along, we're going to be following the adult poster series workout from Winnipeg in Motion. So keeping our muscles strong is really important, and we're going to dig deeper into that in class 4. So please join me if you are able. Remember to go at your own pace, do what you can. The most important thing here is that you're moving and you're trying out some of these exercises. I'll show you different modifications for exercises that we're going to go through, so please pick an intensity that works for you, but just remember to challenge yourself. Okay, you're going to need a sturdy chair or another surface to do some of these exercises, and if you're ready, please join me and let's go. First, we're going to start by warming up our bodies. So anytime we're about to jump into some more intense exercise, we want to make sure that we're going to warm up our bodies, and that's just going to decrease our chance of injuring ourselves. Okay, so really important to do that. We're just going to start with some gentle activities, and we're just going to do each of them for 30 seconds to get our bodies ready for the upcoming activity. All right, so we're just going to start with a march. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want to with this march. It does not need to be fast, because we're just gently and slowly warming up our heart and our lungs, getting everything ready for the activity that's going to come. All right, keep marching. Make sure you're breathing. It's really easy to hold your breath when we're doing some of these exercises. Sometimes I need to remind myself too, so it's totally normal. I'll give you lots of reminders to make sure that you're breathing. Okay, we're going to change things up. We're going to keep the march, but we're just going to swing our arms gently side to side. All right, so depending on your shoulders, you might have a shoulder injury or some pain. You don't need to go really high. It can just be nice and low. Doesn't need to be up as high as shoulder height, okay? So really make these exercises work for you and how you're feeling today. Awesome. We're going to keep the march, and we're going to add on a backwards shoulder roll. Okay, so again, some of us might have better range of motion than others, and that's okay. Just do what you can. We just want to get, like we said, that body warmed up. All right, we're going to take that shoulder roll and just do it forward. We're still moving our feet if you can. I know sometimes it's hard coordination-wise to get everything moving at the same time. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna take the march out. We're gonna do some hamstring curls. So all we're gonna do is flex our foot and pull our heel right up to our bum. All right, so this is just a good way to warm up those big muscles in the legs. All right, side to side. This one can be a tricky one sometimes coordination-wise, but just do what you can. Awesome job, guys. You should feel that heart rate getting up just a little bit. Maybe you're starting to breathe a little bit faster. Okay, we're just gonna change to a knee up in front instead of that hamstring curl. Okay, if you want, you can see I've just got a little bit of an arm movement here. You don't have to do that. You can keep your arms wherever feels good. But if you want to challenge that brain a little bit, feel free to add those arms in. Awesome. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, we're gonna stop that one. We're gonna take one foot, we're just gonna tap to the front, to the side, and to the back. So front, side, back. Front, side, back. Front, side, back. So this one's gonna challenge our balance a little bit as well. If you need to on this one, it's okay to have, oops, I forgot the side. It's okay to have a chair close to you in case you need to hold on to that chair for some balance. Keep going. Okay, same thing, but on the other side. So front, side, back. Front, side, back. Just making sure those legs are nice and warm. All right. Awesome job, guys. Keep going. Again, don't be afraid to have that chair close by if you need it for some balance. So that was our warm up. Hopefully you guys are feeling warmer and ready to jump into our strength and endurance exercises. All right, we're gonna get into our strength and endurance exercises that we're gonna do for today. So we have 5 exercises that we're going to do. Again, if you want to follow along, all of these exercises are in that adult circuit poster series from Winnipeg in Motion. You'll see if you're looking in there, there is a front plank exercise. We're just not gonna do that today because I'm not sure what setting you guys are in and whether you can get down on the floor or not. But you'll see that one in there, so that's definitely a really, really good one as well to do. Okay, so we're gonna start with push-ups. All right, push-ups are a really, really great exercise for our whole upper body strength. Okay, so there's 3 different modifications that you'll see on that poster series, and the one that we're gonna try today is the wall push-up. Okay, so you need to have a flat part of wall somewhere close to you that you can try this out on, and I'm gonna walk you through it. All right, so we wanna stand so we're about 2 to 3 feet away from the wall. All right, and we wanna put our hands on the wall at about shoulder height, and then just wider than our shoulder width. Okay, so we've got feet 2 to 3 feet away, my hands are at my shoulder height, and then I'm slowly going to lean my chest towards the wall and then back up. Okay, so before I start, I want to keep my abs engaged. That doesn't mean suck them in super, super hard, but I just want to kind of pull them in gently so that I can tell that they're there and they're going to support my lower back. Okay? So you should always take about 2 to 3 seconds to lift and 2 to 3 seconds to lower when we're talking about strength exercises. All right, so we're gonna do these for about 30 seconds. Let's do one more. So those were our wall push-ups. You'll see in there that you can up the intensity if you need to make it a little bit harder. Okay, so you can do them on a chair, well, with your hands on the chair. Maybe I'll just show them to you really quickly. Okay, so hands on a chair. So this one's trickier because I need to keep my whole core really nice and tight. Okay, my legs are flat, my bum is down, and my whole body's aligned. I'm just gonna drop down and then up. Okay, so that is one that you can do. You can also do push-ups on the floor with your knees on the ground, or if you need to up the intensity even more, that traditional push-up position with our knees off the ground in that flat position, dropping our chest to the floor. Okay, so that's our first one, that's our push-ups. The next one we're going to do is squats. So I'm just gonna have my chair about like this. So we're gonna do a version with the chair, which is called an assisted squat, but then you'll also see on that poster series, there's harder versions without using the chair and just playing with your range of motion and how low you go. Okay, so we're gonna use the chair. So I'm gonna face the chair here. I'm gonna put my feet just a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and I'm gonna slightly turn my toes out, okay? Just very, very slightly. So what I wanna do is I wanna make sure all the weight is in my heels. I should actually be able to lift my toes up off the ground, okay? My neck is neutral, I'm looking straight ahead, my shoulders are down and relaxed. I'm going to bend my knees and stick my bum out behind me. All right, so these sometimes can be really tricky because we wanna make sure our knees don't go over our toes. Sometimes you might see people doing squats like this. You can see my knees are going over my toes, and that's really, really hard on my knees and is very likely gonna result in injury. So now that I've kind of told you a little bit about what the squat is all about, we're gonna do a few. All right, so weights in the heels, take that bum down. Again, 2 to 3 seconds to lower and 2 to 3 seconds to lift. All right, you don't have to go as low as I'm going. If you can just go down to here, that's okay, or maybe you can go even deeper. All right. Really, really important to go slow and controlled, and then you're just gonna make sure those muscles are getting a really good workout. And don't forget to breathe. Awesome, okay, so that's it for our squats. I'm just gonna change my chair over here, and we're gonna do some chair dips. Okay, so chair dips are really great for these muscles back here at the back of the upper arms called the triceps. So what we're gonna do to get set up, we're just gonna sit on our chair. To get set up, we're gonna put our hands kind of right on the edge of the chair. Okay, and then we're gonna take our bum off, and we're gonna have it so our knees are at about 90-degree angle. And this is going to be the easiest intensity. Okay, so what we wanna do is we've got our hips up. We're gonna drop our hips by bending our elbows. And we wanna keep our elbows pointing straight behind us. Okay, so I'll show you one first. So we're gonna drop those hips and the elbows. Okay, this one can be tricky. So if you wanna just do a little range of motion, that is completely okay. Let's try a few of them. Okay, you guys keep going, and I'm just gonna show you really quickly how you can increase that intensity. If you take your knees, so they're still bent, but you move your feet further away, that's gonna make it a little bit harder. And then if you straighten your legs completely, all right, I'm a little too close to my chair here, that was gonna make it just a little bit harder because you have more weight. Okay, for today, we're just gonna stick with those knees nice and close, down and up. Okay, awesome, good job, guys. While we're here, we're gonna try the chair sit up. So I'm gonna sit right on the edge of my chair. Okay, and you wanna make sure that chair is nice and sturdy. It doesn't have wheels on it or anything. I'm gonna sit up really nice and tall. I'm gonna think about this core. So again, I don't need to squeeze this super hard, but I wanna just gently pull it in so that it's engaged. And I'm gonna relax my shoulders so they're not up around my ears. Okay, our knees are at about 90 degrees. I'm gonna cross my hands just across my chest. All right, and then I'm gonna engage those abs. I'm gonna look straight ahead. We're just gonna do a partial one. So that means with this nice flat back, we're just gonna lean back slightly, 2 to 3 seconds, and then 2 to 3 seconds to lift back up. Okay, so let's do that a few times. So common things in this one is you'll see people kind of curling their backs like that. That's why we want to make sure this is engaged and our backs stay nice and flat. Good job, guys. Okay, I'm just going to show you really quickly how you could increase the intensity for these. You can follow along if you want, or you can just watch. So the next level of modification is just to go further. So same thing, but we want to go back so that our back gently touches the chair. I don't want to rest here, but just so that it touches it, and then I come back up. So that's just increasing the range of motion from what we did that first exercise. Okay. And then the last or the hardest modification that we can do is we come back, we do a little twist, we come back to the center and up. Okay, so we just alternate side to side. Twist, center, and back. Back, twist, center. Let's do one more time on the other side. If you're following along. Awesome. Okay, so that was your 3 levels of the assisted chair sit-up. I'm just going to move my chair out of the way for lunges. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is a lunge. So lunges are really, really great for our whole lower body, just like squats, okay? So really, really important for things like sitting and standing, or almost anything we have to do throughout life and in our daily activities is going to use those big muscles. Okay, so we're gonna try a lunge. So what we're gonna do, lunges can be tricky like squats. We need to watch our knees and our distance in that, so I will walk you through this. So I'm gonna step 1 foot forward, and I need to make sure that I have enough distance here so that when I come down, again, if I was close, you can see this front knee is going over my toe. I don't want that. It could result in bad injury for my knee. All right? So we can have a chair here too, or a wall if you need some support. Okay, so both my toes are pointing straight forward, my shoulders are down, my abs are engaged. All I'm gonna do is drop straight down. So I'm gonna bend both my knees. I'm gonna take 2 to 3 seconds to drop, 2 to 3 seconds to lift. And again, you get to control your range of motion and how far down you go, okay? Maybe it's just here to start with, and that's okay. Maybe eventually you work up to being able to drop a little bit further, okay? Make sure this upper body is pointing straight up and down. We want to try not to lean over, okay? Let's try the other side. I'm just going to turn around so you can see that front leg. Nice big step out, space in between my legs. Sturdy surface here if you need for balance. My upper body is upright. Chin is looking straight forward. Here we go. Remember to breathe. Good job, guys. Okay, so I'll just show you really quickly just a harder version of those lunges. We're not gonna do a whole 30 seconds, but I'll just show you what you could do to progress once those start to maybe get a little bit easy for you. So we're basically gonna do the same thing, but now instead of a stationary position, we're just gonna take turns with those legs, stepping forward and lunging and back. All right, so we're just adding in a bit of that balance piece. It's a little trickier, we gotta push ourselves up off the ground. Okay, and then the third level, to make it even more intense, would be walking lunges. So I won't show you those just because of space issues, but you would essentially just do the same thing while moving around a room. All right? Okay, so that's it for our strength and endurance exercises, but now we need to cool down. Cool down is really, really important after we've put our muscles through work like that. It just helps us to decrease our chance of injury as well as blood pooling in the legs. Okay, so we're gonna run through a few different exercises for our cool down. So we're gonna start, we're just gonna lace those fingers and we're gonna push them out in front. I'll show you from the side, and we're gonna open up through those shoulder blades and just really let them pull away from each other. All right. We want our arms to be at about shoulder height, but if you've got some shoulder pain today, it's okay to have them a little bit lower. Think about that breath. We've just put our muscles through some work, so we want to just try to purposely think about that breath and slow it down. Awesome job, guys. Okay, now we're just going to do the same thing but for our chest. So we're going to lace those fingers behind our back, push it out and open up through those chest muscles. So sitting up nice and tall. Head and neck are neutral, which just means looking straight ahead. Good job, guys. Still breathing. All right, that's it for that one. We're gonna stretch out the front of these thighs because we worked them pretty hard with squats and lunges. So if you need a sturdy surface like a chair or a wall just to hang on to for balance, that's okay. We are going to take one foot. I'm going to grab onto my foot here and try and pull my heel up to my bum. So sometimes this is hard for people depending on injuries or flexibility. So if you need to, you can also grab hold of that pant leg and basically do the same thing. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we're keeping our knees at the same level. You don't want one forward or back. And then if you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can just push those hips forward and you should feel more of a stretch down the front of that leg. Awesome. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So just pulling that other foot up, heel to the bum, keeping those knees in line, and then pushing the hips further if you need more of a stretch. Nice, easy breathing. Feels good after working those muscles. Perfect. Okay, we've got one more. So we're gonna take those feet a little wider than hip width apart. We're gonna come into a nice little knee bend, inhale all the way up, and then exhale down. Let's do that one more time. So bend, inhale, and exhale down. All right, that concludes our strength and endurance exercise video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you had a good workout.